Thank you, but I heard her say he wanted the real men. So like you might catch something you don't want. So don't go too hard on the real men.
His team was on you after his win, man. What'd you say to them? You wanted to smoke, or you wasn't?
I just said I'm Moby Dick. I am.
They said there's a shark in the ocean.
This is what Errol Spence had to say back in the day when Jaron Ennis was closing up on him, climbing up the ladder, becoming his mandatory under the IBF. Jaron Ennis at that time had so much hype because he never lost a round. He was knocking everyone out. A lot of people viewed him back then as the next Terrence Bud Crawford, the next pound-for-pound king. Fast forward to today, Jaron Ennis went from passing the eye test to underachieving with the results, with the way he performs. Now, if you were one of them people that had so much belief in Jaron Ennis and put him up to a pedestal like I did to be the next pound-for-pound king, then we must scale back not just a little bit, but a whole lot of bits. The reason why I do that is to avoid giving fighters extra criticism that don't belong to be there, just for the simple fact I'm hyping them up to be something they're not, which is not fair to them nor the fans. However, if you are one of them fans that said or believe that Virgil Ortiz beats Jaron Ennis, then forget about all of that. I don't want to hear no criticism coming from you. All we should hear from you guys is compliments if you're going to compare Virgil Ortiz to Jaron Ennis. You guys need to adjust the hype train, the hype scale when it comes to Jaron Ennis. You see, it all comes down to what regards you hold Jaron Ennis to what scale. Who are we comparing Jaron Ennis to? Are we comparing Jaron Ennis to the current boxing GOAT, Terrence Bud Crawford, or to the rest of the fighters in boxing, like the Virgil Ortiz of the world? From that position, you either criticize the fighter or praise the fighter, depending on what regards you hold him to. So that has to be understood. I shouldn't be seeing how Virgil Ortiz fans in the comment section are telling me that Jaron Ennis got exposed and Virgil gonna expose him further. Now, you could have said that if they would have used Bud name instead of Virgil, it would have had made complete sense. But when they use Virgil instead, that becomes hypocrisy at its finest, because Virgil is a non-champion. First of all, you guys are criticizing a champion in Jaron Ennis with a non-champion in Virgil Ortiz. You guys are criticizing a fighter who wants to fight everyone in Jaron Ennis with a fighter who's ducking everyone in Virgil Ortiz. That doesn't make any type of sense. The math is not mathing. You cannot use Virgil Ortiz to say Jaron Ennis just got exposed, because if we are comparing him to Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis passed the test with flying colors. He clearly beat Kareem not once but twice. Meanwhile, Virgil Ortiz really lost his last fight. I know you guys know better than to have the audacity to criticize Jaron Ennis by using Virgil Ortiz. Whatever you criticize Jaron Ennis with, that applies to Virgil Ortiz more. If you want to criticize Jaron Ennis for getting hit too much, then all you have to do is look at Virgil Ortiz and you will think or mistake Jaron Ennis with being Floyd Mayweather compared to Virgil Ortiz the way he gets hit. If you criticizing Jaron Ennis' footwork, all you got to do is look at Virgil Ortiz's footwork, the way he knocked himself down with his own feet his last fight. And that's the point I'm making. It all depends what position you criticizing Jaron Ennis from and how you view him. With that being said, there's good news and bad news for Jaron Ennis. The good news is that a lot of fighters that were ducking him are now going to grow the cojones to fight him, because they no longer view him as invincible after the way he was getting hit by Kareem in the rematch and the fight before that. Now, the bad news is Jaron Ennis is not the next Terrence Bud Crawford. He's not on that level. not the way he was getting hit against Kareem. I mean, even though Bud Crawford had bad performances against Mean Machine, Bud went out of his game plan to fight Mean Machine and fighting emotionally instead of logically. Even then, Bud never got hit as clean and as much as Jaron Ennis did against Kareem in the rematch. That was just too much. And it wasn't like Jaron Ennis was only getting hit due to the fact that he was going for the KO. Since Jaron Ennis was getting hit from round one with clean shots, it's almost like Jaron Ennis has Terrence Bud Crawford body. However, he doesn't have the IQ. Since Jaron Ennis is as gifted as anyone, but he doesn't fight smart. I mean, how is Jaron Ennis not utilizing his jab, establishing his jab against Kareem when he had 7-inch reach advantage against Kareem? But he gave all that up just to go in the pocket, to go straight for the KO. Not everyone can be knocked out, and you shouldn't be going straight for the KO anyways, before breaking your opponent up. And that's another mistake Jaron Ennis made against Kareem. So that's why I said Jaron Ennis moving forward has to use his gifts more wisely, because he's only limiting himself by the way he's fighting. With that being said, even though we may never see Errol Spence versus Jaron Ennis fight, the fight we most likely gonna see next is a rivalry fight between Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. That's the fight that makes the most sense at the moment in time. Due to Virgil Ortiz's lack of skill and defense, he's not as good as Kareem. I see Jaron Ennis beating him and perhaps even knocking him out. However, Virgil Ortiz does have a chance, without a doubt. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you prefer to see Jaron Ennis unify the division if he can land a fight with Brian Norman, Stenonius, or even Mario Barrios? Or move up to fight Virgil Ortiz at 154, the way Eddie and Oscar De La Hoya are planning? Subscribe below, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Obviously, you're a guy that always wanted to like fight the best people out there. Even if you're on a layoff, always want to fight the best guys. We got a guy in Jaron Ennis right now who's killing everybody. Floyd is praising him, Roy Jones, everybody really. Like, would a part of you, and not looking past Terrence, but would a part of you be like, yo, this kid is good, I gotta fight this kid?
Yeah, nah, he's nice as hell, but I'm at the point of my career, the money right, I'll fight anybody, so I ain't tripping.